I came on this Jeffrey Epstein show to look for real love. My name is not Mary J. Blige, and during Black Women's Month, I'm looking for young dick, period. VVS, I just turned the water on, big old flex, that you never saw before. These niggas chasing me like waterfalls, keeping on my truck, look like bricks. Okay, y'all, quick pause from the tea as I thank today's sponsor, Nourish. Health and wellness is very important to me. So today, I want to share my experience with Nourish, and I also want to thank them for being today's sponsor. So let's talk about Nourish. Nourish is a virtual nutrition care platform that actually makes working with a real dietitian very easy and very affordable. And yes, it is covered by your insurance. You heard me? It's covered by your insurance. What I love about Nourish is that you're not just getting a meal plan. You are paired with an actual registered dietitian, an RDN, someone who is trained and credited to help you meet your health goals. Whether that's increasing your energy, whether it's losing weight, whether it's your gut health, managing a condition, or just feeling overall better about your body. And get this, 94% of most people who sign up for Nourish pay zero out of pocket because it is covered under their insurance. Nourish accepts insurance plans from all over the entire United States. So that means real coaching without the stress of bills piling up. That's huge, especially given these socially economic times. So your dietitian will walk you through a personalized diet plan. As you can see here, this is me talking to my dietitian about what my plan is going to include.
So I take a picture of my food and I put it on the food journal. It'll tell me the Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's so easy. I love it. And then I can see your picture, which I'm a very visual person anyway.
Yeah.
So if I see a picture of someone's food, I'm like, yes, that looks like plate method. That's perfect. Check.
Great.
Right?
Okay, great.
And instead of you being like, okay, so you had all this, and I have to like think about it, at least I can see it. And it makes that part of like checking the journal so fast.
Okay.
So I love that.
Perfect.
For me, I was looking for better gut health. Okay. So definitely going to get more into my fiber. You guys know that I sometimes have issues with digesting. And so I'm going to increase my water intake. I'm going to do more fiber, going to do more lean protein. And this is helping me build habits that I can actually stick to. Now, through the Nourish app, you also get support between your sessions with your dietitian. So there is goal tracking, messaging, meal ideas, the whole nine. If you're like me and you've ever felt overwhelmed by diet culture, Nourish is for you. Trust me. It's practical, it's human, and it's covered. So if you're curious about working with a real health professional, I definitely suggest Nourish to you. It's been great to me, and I'm pretty sure you'll have the same great experience. Go right now to usenourish.com/thejessiewoo. That's usenourish.com/thejessiewoo. Check your coverage, book your first session, and you can find the link to do this in my description box. All right, y'all. So make sure that you are visiting Nourish to nourish your goals with support that actually works. All right. Let's get back to the tea. What's up, y'all? It's your sister, Jessie Woo. Welcome back to my Chanel. If you're new here, please make sure that you subscribe, so you can join the Black Women's Tribe during Black Women's Month, okay? I believe Ramadan is over. Hop in the comments and let me know. But if it is over, I hope that all my Ramadan Mubarak Black Women's during Black Women's Ramadan, Black Women's Month had a good Ramadan. I hope that your Ramadan was blessed. And yeah, I hope that March is blessed for all of us. All right. Y'all see the title. Let's jump right on in. Not out, but in. We're jumping back into Age of Attraction. But before we do, I got to give y'all my disclaimer. Quick disclaimer. This video is commentary and entertainment. My opinions are based solely on what is shown on Age of Attraction. This is not personal, and under no circumstances should this be used as a reason to harass or target any of the cast members. Accountability and discussion are one thing, but bullying is another. Let's not cross that line. Thank you. All right, now that we have that out the way. Episode 4. Now, remember, episode 3, we left off where we were at the couples meetup, and Jorge was talking to the men, Vanel was talking to the women's, and you have Libby and Pfeiffer, who are both dating Derek and Andrew. Derek and Andrew are fathers, and so they were going back and forth about dating men with children, and you have Vanel saying, oh yeah, you know, mine ain't got no children. You know, mine, he ain't got no children. He's 60, he ain't got no kids, okay? He ain't got no kids, boo. I ain't got to deal with no stepkids. Ain't nobody finna be calling me stepmama. I'm not in the ghetto like you hoes, right? Meanwhile, lo and behold and lo, Jorge, get. Now, the fellas are having a conversation, and we hear Andrew tell the fellas how he's very protective over his girls. Only one other woman besides their mother has ever met them. So this is going to be a big deal for him if Libby does make it to meeting his kids. Jorge then reveals to the men, Jorge then reveals to the men that he has 2 kids.
I have 2 children.
Not one, but 2 kids. And that his kids are around the same age as Vanel. Mind you, over on the ladies' side, Vanel is telling the ladies that Jorge ain't got no kids.
Yeah, he does not have any kids.
Yay! Vanel is telling the lady, oh, Jorge ain't got no kids. He ain't got no kids. So, yeah, I can't relate to y'all. I can't relate to you, Libby. I can't relate to you, Piper, because my man ain't got no kids. Remember, in the promise room, she asked him, do you have kids? Do you want kids? And he said, oh, I'm only having kids in a marriage. I don't want a baby mama. And remember, she's not critically thinking. She's not critically listening to the words that are coming out of his mouth. She's so giddy. I'm nervous. I'm giddy. Every time I get around her, I'm nervous. She's so damn giddy and so damn slow that she did not recognize that this man never truly answered her question outright. And so here he is revealing to the men that he got 2 kids, and he lets the men know that he didn't tell her that.
When did you share with her your children?
I haven't. I'm about to.
He'll tell her that when they cross that bridge. Jorge, bien petit. He got kids, right? He's over on the men's side telling them that not only does he have 2 children, but the children are her age. And not only are the children her age, but he has yet to tell Vanel that he is a father. Okay. And again, we have to go back to when they were in the promise room. She asked that man, does he have any kids and does he want more kids? And he said to her, I don't want any children outside of marriage. I don't want to have no baby mamas. I ain't doing that. I'm not having no baby mamas, right? And she asked no follow-up questions because he didn't make it clear whether he had children or not. Also, I'm really questioning Vanel's sense of like, I see why Vanel's daddy told her that he doesn't want her dating anybody more than 10 years her senior. First of all, it's not a good thing. Like it's especially somebody in your 20s. No, right? If you're older, if you're an older woman, like if you're in your 30s, late 30s, okay. But being in your 20s, absolutely not. But also, I think that Vanel doesn't have a good sense of reality. Okay? Because in what world does a nigga named Jorge have no kids at the age of 60? I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying at the very least, I would have questions. I would have questions. Like, if you're in your 40s with no children, I have questions. I have questions. If you're in your 30s and you're a man, like specifically for men, I have questions. Like, oh, okay. You ain't got no kids? Okay, so, I have questions for that. Not saying that it's necessarily a negative thing, but because they are men and we know how men operate, I have questions. The fact that we never see her ask any of these questions, any follow-up questions, is quite ridiculous. But also, I want to make it clear that Jorge is a pathological liar. And his method of lying is predominantly omission. He knows how to omit. He knows how to deflect. He knows how to basically steer your attention somewhere else. He's an attorney. He's a lawyer. And we're actively seeing him liar his way into this relationship with Vanel. And Nick Val's raggedy ass and his wife come out. I think her name's Natalie. I don't give a fuck. They come out and they tell everybody that they're going to be moving in together. And so that's going to be like the next step of the experience. And then one by one, he has all the couples reveal their ages. And I mean, people are falling out. I think when everybody heard Jorge's age, they fell out. And I just don't understand. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe something's wrong with me. But the moment I saw Jorge, I saw somebody who was in his 60s. I was going to peg him for mid 60s, to be honest. Now, maybe I was overestimating, but also like I'm black. He's black. Also, like I am of Caribbean descent. Like I guess I've just seen so many blacks, whether it be African Americans, whether it be the green card blacks. I've seen so many of y'all age so gracefully. So when I was looking at him, I'm like, yeah, this man is in his 60s. So I'm not understanding why everybody's shocked. Does he look good? Absolutely. Absolutely. Does he look good? Absolutely. But it was very clear that this was an older man, a much older man. And the fact that she thought that he was in his 40s was insane to me. Insane to me. Anyway, we hear that these couples are going to move in together and that there's going to be a commitment ceremony at the end of this experience. What was with the size of these apartments that they had these people living in? At least with Libby and Andrew. I feel like they put these people in a dormitory. It was so small. And then did y'all make note of Libby telling Andrew that he was going to have to earn permission to sleep in the same bed as her?
I guess you could maybe be invited if you act correctly.
Exactly. And I told her.
Period, Libby. I know that's right. You gotta act right, okay? You gotta act right. You can't just come up in here all willy-nilly. You gotta act right, period. Jorge and Vanelle are in their apartment, and I'm just waiting for this man to finally tell this lady that he has kids, but he's not telling her that he has kids yet. So they're having a conversation, and we find out that I think she's like the baby. She's the baby of 5. So she has 4 siblings, and she's the baby. And immediately I'm like, okay, yeah, it makes sense why she's kind of dense. It makes sense why she's a little slow. She did talk about how she felt that her siblings would react to her being in a relationship with a 60-year-old. And she said that her brothers wouldn't really care too much. And I'm like, what kind of brothers do you got? Like, if I were to tell my brother, I have 2 brothers. If I were to tell Jeremy or John that I'm in a relationship with a 60-year-old, it's like somebody who has an AAR, somebody who is damn near qualifying for an AARP card, they would look at me sideways. They would have a laundry list of questions like, girl, what you doing? What's going on? Do you want us to fix you with somebody? Girl, what kind of brothers you got? So anyway, in the middle of her conversation, talking about like, you know, I guess her dynamics with her brothers, and being the youngest child, he pops in and he's like, well, I got kids. Is that going to bother you?
Okay.
I have children. And I see your face. Does that bother you?
You done lost your damn mind.
What? And she's like, what do you mean you have kids? Like, we talked about this in the promise room. You didn't tell me that you had kids in the promise room. And he's like, I mean, were you here to find somebody with or without kids, or were you here looking for ageless love? I thought we was in this experience looking for ageless love. I didn't know that we was looking for people without kids.
Me having children has nothing to do with anything. I didn't think.
The way Jorge runs circles around this girl. The way Jorge runs circles around this girl. And literally doesn't take any ownership of the fact that he lied to her. And she doesn't say, well, you lied to me. I can't go into this relationship with a liar. He's busy just deflecting and gaslighting her, you know, into thinking that, well, he didn't do anything wrong when he actually and factually did by omitting that. Like, he just does a really good job of just running laps around this girl. And so you have her asking him, well, do you want more kids? Like, oh yeah, I mean, if you know, yeah, if it's the right situation. Girl, Vanelle, this is your cue to leave. This is your cue to leave. This man is a pathological liar. He lies without blinking. And the thing too is, because you're not a good critical listener, you don't catch how he's making you feel stupid for not being a good listener. Like, the way he shifts blame on you for not being attentive and not paying attention to the words that are coming out of his mouth, because is that going to bother you? You know? And you don't want to use the word bother, but you should. Like, yes, it does bother me. Because I thought I was going into this experience with a man that didn't have any kids. Now I'm finding out that you do have kids. So what else could you be lying about? That conversation never takes place. So anyway, she ends up saying, it's okay. I mean, it's okay that you have kids. When I tell you George is smoother than a baby's bottom during Black Women's Month, that man is smoother than baby doodoo. Just come out smooth. Like, he is so smooth with it. And she's just so dumb. And also, let's be very clear, Jorge is not waiting for marriage for no coochie. Like, so many questions, so many things needed to be discussed in the scene. Because now it's, oh, so you do have kids. So was it a baby mama type of situation? Did you have these 2 kids within your marriage that you had early on in your life? None of those questions were asked, at least on screen. We don't get to see them being asked. And so, just so you know, Vanell, expecting a 60-year-old man to wait for marriage to get some coochie during Black Women's Month is just diabolical. It's just diabolical, okay? Nick Vale with your raggedy ass putting this on my screen during Black Women's Month, okay? Now, meanwhile, while this happened with Jorge, in another scene, you see Derek showing Pfeiffer a full album of his 2 sons, because he ain't no damn liar. He said, y'all not finna catch me slipping. I'm not finna come into this equation being another liar, okay? I told her off top, I got kids.
Do you feel like when you had him, like you were ready?
Here go the kids' pictures, okay? That's them going to school. That's them going to church. That's them playing softball. He gave that lady a full photo album of his kids. Leah and Chris have a conversation, and she's really pissed off about the fact that he didn't tell her about his hot tub moment with Vanessa, right? So in the last episode, we saw Vanessa come up to Leah and basically tell her unsolicitedly about how she made out with Chris. Leah didn't know. Logan knew, Chris knew, Vanessa knew. Leah was the only one at the table that didn't know. And so she was really pissed off about that. Chris did say that it was like in the back of his mind to tell her, but as time went by, he just chose not to tell her, basically. But Leah felt that it was very immature for him not to tell her that, and I agree. I agree with that. That was very immature. Y'all are clearly in this experience. Maybe in Chris's mind, he was hoping that nobody was going to link with Vanessa, but Vanessa is what reality stars are made of. Like, do you not see how just like she's clearly good entertainment. They were going to keep her in, like they were going to put her on our screens regardless. So yeah, he should have told Leah. Vanessa and Logan are out for a late night swim. And, you know, for 49 years old, Vanessa really comes off extremely immature. Just extremely immature. And this conversation was an example of it. Just, you know, how she was asking him, you know, about telling his friends about her and telling his friends what her age was. And she made a comment about wanting him to tell his friends that she's 39 instead of 49.
Can we just lie and say I'm 39?
Yeah, or we don't have to lie.
And she's like, you know, like, let me know how much Botox I should get. Like, I'll get enough Botox so I could look younger. It just was very weird. Like, she was extremely concerned with how she should look to his friends when he finally introduces her to his friends. And I found that to be extremely weird. Prince Harry and Teresa are having a good night in, you know, like they're just extremely happy with each other. She's extremely happy with how things are going. He feels the same way. And we just kind of see them cohabitate for a little bit and then they head to bed. And then a montage of all the couples going to bed follows them going to bed as well. And then we see Vanelle and Jorge and they're about to go to bed. And, you know, they're kissing and she's saying how he's very dangerous to kiss. This is very dangerous. And then we get to John and Teresa, and it sounds like she was letting Prince Harry blow every piece of her back out. Like the fact that we actually were made privy to the sounds of them hunching, like, have you no shame, Nick Vale, with your raggedy ass? Do we have to hear this? Do we have to hear these people hunching? Like, seriously. Moving along, it's the next day, and we see the couples moving on about their day. Teresa and Prince Harry are about to go to the gym, and she let us know that he bent her over his crown the night before, child. Vanelle and Jorge have a conversation while they're still in bed, and he talks about, being a preacher's kid, but how he didn't really have a relationship with his father. I believe his mother has passed away, but his father hasn't, I believe. But anyway, he talks about the fact that for most of his life, he didn't really have a relationship with his father. His father and his mom, I guess divorced early on, like maybe in his childhood. And that did affect his relationships going into adulthood. He did talk about the fact that in his life, he hasn't had many relationships. He had a few long-term relationships, but he didn't really date that much. And then she reveals that she hasn't had much of a dating history either. Duh, she's fucking 27. I don't expect her to. Not saying that it's impossible, but I really don't, especially compared to him, who is a whole 60-year-old, I don't see her having a long relationship, right? A long history of relationships. But it's the way that he's buttering her up, because clearly he loves the fact that she doesn't really have a long relationship history, because that is going to help him in his lying to her. It's going to help him lie to her, manipulate her, gaslight her, run circles around her. He's loving it. Pa-da-pa-pa-pa. He's loving it. He's loving it. And you know what predators love? Predators love a young woman with hardly any relationship history. They love that. Prince Harry and Teresa are out and about. They're out for lunch, and she's clearly concerned with, how people are looking at her and him. Clearly she looks older than him, but yet they're holding hands in a romantic way. And, she asked him how he would feel if somebody did come up to them and was like, hey, is this your son?
What if someone came up to us and was like, is this your son?
He was like, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. And you know what? Even though I'm not a fan of this whole age gap, if I were her and I was with Prince Harry and somebody came up to us asking if he was my son, I'd be like, yeah, he is. And then I would tongue him the fuck down. I would say, yes, he's my son, and then tongue him the fuck down, because why do you need to know? It's none of your business. It's literally none of your business. So if people want to be stupid, give them something to feel stupid about. Period. Jorge and Vanelle are at the gym, and we quickly learn that the celibacy shit is not for him, okay?
Do I want to be celibate? No, not in any way, shape, or form.
They're at the gym, and while they're at the gym, he's talking about how, he loved the way she left her side of the bed last night to be all up on him. And she was talking about how much she enjoys truly sleeping with him. But and while they're having this conversation in his confessionals, he's letting it rip about this whole celibacy journey, that, he's not really buying it because he doesn't understand what the goal of celibacy is. While they're at the gym, he's talking to her. He's like, you enjoy sleeping with me, right? You enjoy cuddling up with me, right? So like, what's the point of like the whole celibacy thing? Like, what is that? And while they're having this conversation, she's straddling this man.
Do you think anybody would believe that you...
Stop. You said you had another shot.
And he's like, see how you left your side of the mat and now you on top. You want me. Like, he doesn't say this. He doesn't say that, but he's saying it. Like, you talking about being celibate, but look at you. Like, you want this dick. You want this dick. And you know what's really interesting to me here is that I can see where this is going. He is going to tear her celibacy stance apart. And he's going to convince her that she's the one that's leaving that stance behind, versus the fact that he's gaslighting her into abandoning this whole celibacy journey. Because in his mind, he's like, look at what we're doing. So why be celibate? You're comfortable with me. He's trying to convince her that her celibacy journey is not for the reasons that she says it is. Andrew and Libby are outside somewhere, I think by the beach, and they're playing soccer. And he actually reveals that when he was younger, he played soccer in Toronto, where this show is being filmed. I'm sorry, actually the show's being filmed in Vancouver. But anyway, they're playing soccer, and she did a really good job kicking a soccer into his groin, I think. But he reveals that when he was 21, when he was 22, like, he was a soccer player. And that's how old she is. She's 22. The man done lived several lives already. Okay. He done been a soccer player. Now he's I forgot what he is now, but he's a owner of something. I think, is he a club owner? I can't remember. He's a dad. Like, he has lived a life already, right? And she's barely coming into hers. But he does such a good job of buttering her up with the whole, you know, you're much more mature than what I was when I was your age, because when I was your age, I wouldn't dare see myself do an experience like this.
Because I don't think that I would have been in the right place to do something like this.
Oh my God! Wow!
Like, I wouldn't dare see myself doing this Jeffrey Epstein type ass show. Like, I would never do, but you're so mature. You're so mature. Look at what you're doing. You know, just buttering her up, just predating the hell out of this girl. And she falls for it. Anyway, he brings up David Beckham, which I thought was very eerie because we just had Alex on Love is Blind, the Kiwi swindler on Love is Blind, who, you know, failed at his soccer career too, and brought up David Beckham. So anyway, we have Andrew bringing up David Beckham too, and he asked Libby if he knew who the Spice Girls were, if she knew who Posh Spice was, and she was like, no, I don't know them people, but I know TLC. Period, Pooh. I don't want no scrubs. Where's Candy Burris? Period, Pooh. She said, I do not know them people. I do not know them Spice people, but I do know TLC during Black Women's Month. Yes, God. Logan and Vanessa have a very heated conversation, and she talked about the fact that she feels as if she is in the friend zone because she is the one who is always initiating kissing, always initiating sex, always initiating anything intimate.
I feel like I'm the one that like has to initiate.
Oh, brother.
But he's like, yo, I'm not rushing to be physical with you. I actually want to build a solid foundation first. And she's like, nah, I'm 49 years old. I came to this experience for 20-year-old dick. Okay? Like, let's be for real. Like, I'm here for young dick. Okay? You think I went on this Jeffrey Epstein type ass show? You think I came on this Jeffrey Epstein ass show to look for real love? My name is not Mary J. Blige, and during Black Women's Month, I'm looking for young dick. Period.
Cuddled more with girl best friends than we cuddled last night. Like,
she ain't said all that, but she might as well have said it. But he's like, listen, I'm trying to build a solid connection with you. I feel like if we burn fast, the fire is going to fade fast, right? And remember, this is the same bitch who called Chris a love bomber. She said that a lot of her past ex were toxic and they were love bombing her. And yet here she is in this experiment, in this relationship with this younger man who wants to take his time. And instead of taking her time as well, she's beating this man over the head because he's not beating her back in expeditiously. Okay? I just want to make note of that. This lady is weird. She's weird and she's very dangerous. Very dangerous. But anyway, she feels like she picked wrong. She ain't picked the right guy because she feels like he's treating her like a friend. So now we move on to episode 5. And episode 5 opens up with Libby and Andrew in the same bed. And I'm like, well, when did he earn this? Didn't Libby say that he was going to earn coming into the bed?
Oh, thanks.
How did you sleep?
When did he earn this? Teresa and Prince Harry have a conversation and she brings up children. You know, obviously she's a mother. I believe she has 3 kids. He doesn't have any kids. You know, she's 54. He's 27. And so she's like, you know, I am worried about children for you because, you know, this is something that you might want. And he's like, oh, I don't want no kids. And she's like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, like my entire life, I haven't really seen myself and specifically, like, I haven't really specifically seen myself as a father. So yeah, I don't think the kids is something that I'm really like dying to have. And she's like, but your mind might change later on. And he's like, lady, I done told you I don't want no damn kids.
If someone comes up to me and asks me if I want kids, I kind of tell them no.
He was very, very serious about that shit. I don't want no damn kids. And she was like, well, what about surrogacy? Cause you know, I can't bear no children for you. And he's like, lady, I done told you I don't want no damn kids. So Prince Harry don't want no damn kids. Okay. And she was like, you know, my eggs is scrambled, but we could get somebody else's eggs. And he was like, I don't want no damn eggs. I'm allergic. I don't want no damn eggs. I like waffles. Okay. So basically, I think it's understood he don't want no damn kids. Leah and Chris are having a conversation, and I believe Chris was cooking. So, you know, Chris is in Miami. Leah is in LA. And we know that Chris has an older father who is sickly, I believe. And so, you know, he is in Miami. He doesn't really see himself leaving Miami. His family's there. He does help take care of his father. But then you have Leah who's like, yeah, but I'm in California. And, you know, I know your family's in Miami, but my family's in California. How about getting close to my family?
Would you be willing to go to LA too, or anywhere in California close to my family?
You know, fuck your daddy who's dying. You know what I'm saying? My parents ain't dying. Come on over to LA. Like, come to death row. This lady kind of weird. Leah, I hate this. Like, I don't want to say this about my black sister during Black Women's Month, but this conversation was very weird. I feel like she wasn't listening to anything that was coming out this man's mouth. So she kept pressing him about moving to LA, and he was like, baby, that's not an option for me. That's just not an option for me right now. Okay?
But I don't think that that's option number one, if that makes sense.
Not on my watch.
So then we hear a conversation with Vanelle and Jorge. And I believe they're in bed. We can't really tell what is taking place while they're in bed, but we do hear them basically have an argument about celibacy.
Well, we said we should talk about celibacy.
And we hear her say, you know what, like, if you weren't going to support celibacy, then why say yes? Like, why make a promise to me under the guise that you really respected my celibacy? Because clearly you're not respecting my celibacy. But he's like, okay, but what about what we just did? And I'm like, well, what did y'all just did? What did y'all just did? He's like, what about what we just did? That ain't no damn celibacy. So now I need to see the footage. What did they do? What was y'all in that room doing?
You riding me and simulating it and having an orgasm, that was confusing.
I need to know if this is something you're okay with or not.
So she's like, what we just did was intimacy. And he's like, no. What we did was more than that. Okay. And she's like, well, we could be intimate, but we're not having sex. I'm waiting till I'm married, and I'm serious about that. So I guess the argument gets cut off, and fast forward to the next morning, we have Jorge talking about how, you know what? He respects the fact that she's celibate, but she needs to respect his stance on her celibacy.
They have the right to feel the way they do, but the person who doesn't want to be celibate has a right to feel the way they do.
Not on my watch.
And this is so problematic for me for so many reasons, because number one, the man is a liar. She told you what she told you in the promise room. She said she was celibate. You said that you would respect it. So now you're reneging on that. Now you're trying to project your feelings on celibacy onto her when you could have simply just said, you know what? You're not the one for me. Because I'm 60 fucking years old, and I'm not going to be waiting till marriage for no damn coochie. As a matter of fact, I'm 60. I haven't been married since I was 30 years old. Okay? Like, the thing with Vanelle too is like, a man who's 60 years old has been divorced since 30. So for the last 30 years, this man has been outside. You expect a 60-year-old man who's been outside for 30 years to all of a sudden put his dick in a box? You want a 60-year-old man who's clearly been out in these streets to put his dick in a box until you're ready for marriage? That's just not thinking smart. But also, her body, her choice. Her body, her choice. And if she's telling you that she does not want to be intimate until marriage, you need to respect that and just respectfully say hell to the no if that is not something that you can abide by. And you would think a 60-year-old would be able to do that. But yet here we are. Here we are. In addition to that, this man is a liar. He lied about having kids. He lied about respecting her celibacy. What else is he lying about? What else is he lying about? Vanessa and Logan are back on my screen, and to be honest, it's clear these people don't like each other. These two do not like each other. It's very, very clear. Production is forcing this on my fucking screen. Vanessa and Logan are a scheme that Nick Vile raggedy ass set up to come to us with the bullshit. Anyway, she is not satisfied with their intimacy at all. She's saying, listen, like, I'm looking for July 4th, and here you are giving me a seniors home barbecue.
Passion-wise and spark-wise, I want to move things to the 4th of July.
Right. I feel like I'm down to the barbecue. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for 4th of July fireworks, okay? I want my back cracked. And you're not doing that. And the fact that I came on this Jeffrey Epstein ass show to find me some young dick and this is what I got is pissing me and my homegirls off, because if you can't go to Bella Noche's, where the hell could you go? She wants more passion. She wants more action immediately. But he's like, damn, I don't even feel like you really like me for real. I think you like the idea of me, but you don't really like me for real. And it's true. She don't like you. And you don't like that lady. So let's please move on. Leah and Chris, I believe, just had some brunch and he wants to take a nap now. And she is upset that this man wants to nap. Who the fuck doesn't take a good nap after brunch? Baby, a nap is gonna get napped after brunch. She's upset. And so he's like, girl, she wants to cuddle with him. She wants to cuddle with him all day, all damn night. And he's like, listen, this is just too much. I didn't sign up for this shit. This lady doing way too much. And then you have her telling him that she fucking hates him.
You're so mean to me. I hate you.
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
She called him mean and said that she hated him because he wanted to go take a nap. Leah, you're 41 years old. You're too old to be acting like this. I would call you clingy, but I don't know. I feel like Leah, remember how they were in the promise room? Like, she's doing all that. Like, I think Leah wants to be younger than she is. Hence, just her, like, I feel like she acts very, very young for her age. And while she's looking at him and calling out his immaturity for not telling her about the whole Vanessa moment, I actually think that Leah is the one who's most immature in this situation. Because why are you constantly wanting to cling to this man? Like, you just met him. Take it easy. Take it easy. But anyway, I think Leah is very childish. And I think Leah needs a therapist. You got some real childish ways about you. You're very, very clingy. You're too attached too fast. And I think that that's something that you need to get. You need to have that addressed immediately. Logan and Vanessa are having the sex. They doing the sex. And basically, we can surmise based on what she said that man finished way too fast. She said women are ovens, men are blowtorches.
Women are ovens and men are blowtorches. So
she basically told that man, you, I don't need no mini man. I don't want no mini man. Where's Missy Elliott? Get this lady off my screen, please. She's annoying. Libby and Andrew are in bed reciting very weird affirmations.
I am the baddest bitch.
I am the baddest bitch.
You done lost your damn mind.
All right. Jorge and Vanessa are having a heated argument. So apparently off camera, there was an incident where I guess they were on the street somewhere, maybe walking somewhere, and a guy made threatening comments. I'm not sure whether the threatening comments were directly aimed at her or if they were aimed at them both, but he made very threatening comments, according to George. Okay. So George feels like whatever this man was saying to them when they were on the street, it was very threatening. It was threatening to their safety. And so George responded accordingly. Okay. George says he's from the street. He knows how to handle this shit. You know, if a man comes up to him disrespecting him or his lady or both, that man's going to get checked and going to get handled expeditiously.
There's no way I'm going to let him put you in danger or make a threat like that. I'm just not going to do it.
In his eyes, he was being protective. Now, as far as she's concerned, she was made to feel very uncomfortable.
We were blah, blah, blah. I was still very uncomfortable. Both of you guys going at you and that guy.
I want to go back to something that she said to Jorge when they first met. He told her that he's always on 100. Okay? She told him that she loves a dominant man, but he can't be overbearing. Okay? She likes dominance to a certain extent, but he cannot be overbearing. And so when I'm looking at this right here, this conversation, I'm just thinking back to what they both told each other. Jorge said that he wanted somebody peaceful because he's always on 100, right? And so now we're at this conversation where she said she felt very uncomfortable with what happened between him and this man on the street. He's like, well, I'm a man. He's a man. I'm from the streets. You don't know what it's like to be a black man in this type of situation. I'm here to protect you. Don't you want your man to protect you? But remember what she said to him at the beginning. Even in this situation, she's saying, yeah, but I was made uncomfortable by both of your actions. I really wish we knew exactly what happened or we were able to see what took place. But I just want y'all to keep in mind, Jorge is a 60-year-old man who is telling a 27-year-old that she needs to be his piece because he's always on 100. A 60-year-old man always on 100. Why? Why? So there's no telling what this man probably said. And we don't know whether his reaction was appropriate to what this man said. We don't know because we don't see it. I just want y'all to just keep that in mind. So anyway, he's like, I'm a man, I'm protecting you. And when things like this happen, I want you to respect my decision. I want you to support my decision. I want you to get behind me, stand behind me. And she's basically feeling like he is just over talking her or talking at her.
If I make a decision or if I do something like that, I would hope that you would respect and honor my decision.
Basically, from just factoring everything that I've seen of Jorge so far, I really feel that Jorge, most likely, when it came to this man, it wasn't about protecting Vanel. It was more so about him performing masculinity. He was probably dick swording. He was probably dick sword fighting with this man on the street because he wants to be seen as a masculine man. He's always on 10, and it had nothing to do with protecting Vanel. I'm just factoring in his character, like his characteristics, and that's what I'm coming to. Okay. And so anyway, he wants her to stand behind him when he's making these stupid ass decisions as far as him dick fighting with a total stranger. She's like, I can't support that. I was uncomfortable. And here's the thing too. You never know what a stranger is on. Sometimes as a man, protecting your wife or protecting your lady is you just walking away. But see, when you're a man like Jorge and you're always busy performing masculinity, you will get into a fight with a stranger. And you'll get into this fight with your knuckles. Mind you, that stranger probably has a pew, 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 You don't know what you're walking into. But because you want to perform masculinity so damn bad, okay?
Speaking from what knowledge? You have never been in that situation. You've never been on the streets.
He's talking at her. He's not really listening to anything that she's saying. He's talking at her. He's dictating to her that, hey, you know, we've already gotten over the celibacy thing. We've already gotten over the kids thing. And it's like, no, you actually haven't gotten over those things. Nothing was resolved. You lied. You didn't apologize. You didn't take accountability. You're just talking at her. You're dictating to her how she should feel about something. You're talking down on her like she's your daughter, and she just runs off. We see her run off to production and ask to have her mic taken off. In between this, there's a conversation with Derek and Pfeiffer where he was asking her about moving to Dallas, I believe, where he lives, because he can't leave where he lives because his children are there. And, you know, she gave like this answer that I would expect a girl trying to be more mature beyond her years. I would expect her to give. But let's just keep it a buck. Pfeiffer, please do not. Stay your ass home. Stay where you at. Stay your ass home. Stay where you at, please. Next. Vanelle comes back into the apartment with Jorge. And she asked him if he felt if they were a good match. And he's like, well, we haven't even finished our conversation that we had prior to this. And so she's like, all right, let's do it. Let's have that conversation. And also, I'm still upset about the celibacy thing because I told you I was celibate. You acted as though you were in support of it when you're actually not. And so now we're in this relationship and I don't feel as if we're coming into this relationship with full honesty.
If you told me, I don't know, I would have went home in the promise room.
You could have told me no in the promise room. Instead, you acted as if you were in support of my stance, and now here we are. But then he's like, well, we've done things.
If you're saying you're celibate, but yet we can mess around and do other things. It's not really celibacy. It's really a version of what you think celibacy is.
We've done things. You want to be celibate, but we've done things. And here's the thing. I'm like, what did y'all do? Were you in there sucking a little dick? Girl, what was you in there doing? Was you slobbing on that man knob? Was you slobbing on that man knob? Was he slobbing on yours? What happened in that room? Because now I want to know. But also, here's the thing too, right? Jorge is a gaslighter. He's a manipulator. There's no telling what he told her. Like, okay, you know what? You're celibate, but I mean, let's, you know, what if we do a little, what if we do a little, what if we do a little, what if we do that? That's not intimacy. That's not intimacy. That's not sex. You know, there's no telling what he told her to help dictate her actions. Okay. But he's saying, you know, we're being intimate. We're messing around. So I'm getting mixed messages when it comes to your celibacy. Like, I'm not understanding your diet version of celibacy. Cause we hunching, we dry hunching in the bed. We slobbing, we knobbing. What we doing? You don't want to have intercourse, but we're doing things that pretty much lead to intercourse. And as he's saying all these things, you could see like the wheels just turning in her head. And you could see that she's realizing that she fucked up. She's realizing that she fucked up. And then he said, the power of life is in the tongue or something like that. The power of life or death is in the tongue. So watch what you say. What the hell does that have to do with this conversation?
The Bible said the power of life and death is in the tongue. So you need to be careful of what you say.
Just shut your ass up. What the hell do that have to do with this conversation? So anyway, she says, you know what? I think we should go our separate ways. And when I tell you, we won another battle.
I guess we're good. Like, we can go our separate ways.
And we've won another battle.
My God. Hey. Hi, my God, today, Jordia, we won another battle because I was worried for this girl. The way Jorge already put so much work into her, and you could tell he did a number on her because she was crying so much. What did y'all do in that room? I have so many questions. What did y'all do in that room? What did y'all do in that room? Anyway, she's crying so much. Like, oh my God, this is a connection I'm not going to be able to find anymore. This is a connection I'm not going to be able to find again. Like, I mean, this really hurt her. And she was talking about, you know, God this, God that. Celibacy is how I honor God.
I would be okay with walking away from the things I desire and want if it costs me my relationship with God.
And it's like, sister, while I support honoring God, you Christian psychosis girlies who I'm honoring God. Were you honoring God by coming on this show? Absolutely not. You're not going to convince me that God told you to come on this show. You're just not going to convince me of that, sister. You weren't honoring God by coming on this show. So cut the shit. Okay? If you're going to have a boundary, stick to your boundary. And the moment somebody presents themselves as someone who wants to be a contrarian to your boundary, let that person go and do it immediately. Do it immediately. Jorge is a liar. He's a deceiver. He's a manipulator. He's a predator. What we were watching on this show, if you are one of these people that are on social media that has way more heat for Vanel than you do Jorge, I fear you have a disgusting allegiance to predators. And we were clearly not watching the same show. And just like Vanel, I think a lot of y'all did not pay attention to the words that would come out of this man's mouth. He's a liar. He's a manipulator. He's a gaslighter. He's an omitter. He's an attorney. He's an attorney. The best attorneys are those things. Literally. Jorge was not protecting that girl. Jorge was performing masculinity. Okay. And for those of y'all who were saying, oh, she picked the wrong person, she should have picked Justin. Justin wasn't it either. Vanel needs to pick herself. She needs to go to therapy. She came on this Jeffrey Epstein ass show trying to replace her daddy. She got daddy issues. She needs to be on Iyanla's couch, not on Nick Vale's raggedy ass show with his raggedy ass. Anyway, they go their separate ways, and I'm really happy about this because I really think that Jorge would have had that girl down to a psych ward. He would have had Vanel down to a white jacket room. Anyway, after this, we have a couples meetup, and it's revealed that the couples are now going to meet their families. Their families are going to come into the equation, and Teresa almost but lost her mind.
I don't want to do this.
Teresa is very worried about how her children are going to react to this, and she feels like if her children are not accepting of this, she gonna have to let Prince Harry go. Now, at this meetup, Logan did have a reaction too, where he was like, damn, like, I didn't know that like we were going to include our families. I'm very private when it comes to my relationships. And I'm like, how are you private, but you going on a dating show? Are you okay? Are you dumb? Anyway, Vanessa did not like his reaction at all. And so now they're having an argument about it. And she's like, yo, like, I don't get what the big deal is. It's not like we're getting married. Like, so if you introduce a girl to your family, what does that mean? Like, you get married? Like, what? And it's like
to introduce a girl to your family, did they think like that means we're getting married?
Who is this hoe? This is a 49-year-old woman wearing a promise ring. She is so fucking immature. I really don't see where her and Logan are going to go. I really don't. Like, this is not a match at all. But anyway, the episode ends there. Hop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. And I'll see y'all in the next one.
VBS, I just turn the water on. Big old flex.